Popular demand. Thank you, Rob. We're going to go back to our meatballs. We went way over plan in our first airing, and we've got a few left. So I thought it would be nice to, plus we got Bill and Juliana Rancic with us, Mama DePandi's family, to tell us all about it. Where am I going? Did I walk too far? I walked way too far. Well, they used to be over there. Now they're over here. I walked right by them. So we have what I consider, and this, by the way, would also be in my top 5 food items of all time since I've worked here, would be these meatballs. I love them that much. I think they are the best. I think it's one word that really tells you what it's all about, and that is authenticity. I've learned, I've tried to make meatballs for years. I've never been really great at it. I've tried different things. I don't know if it's because I'm not Italian or whatever, but all I know is that these are the best meatballs I've ever had. I always keep a stash of them in my freezer. When I'm in the mood for meatballs, all I do is I take a handful of them out, I put them in my saute pan with a little bit of olive oil, I let them get a little bit of caramelization because that's just something I like to do. You don't have to do that. You can put them right in sauce because they're cooked. And then I add Mama DePandi's Pomodoro sauce. That is all I do. And if I have bucatini on hand, I would eat that as well. Let me introduce you back to Juliana Rancic, her wonderful husband, Bill, who is finally with us today. We are excited. Guys, I would think the meatballs are like one of the driving forces for you guys. I know it is here. I mean, I can't even tell you how many millions of meatballs we've sold, but really it all comes down to what I said, it's authenticity, right?
You know, at RPM restaurants, we like to call it attainable luxury because we're providing you some of the highest quality meats. If you split one of these meatballs open, you'll see how juicy they are. You'll see all the very clean, natural ingredients in there, and it's affordable. So we are trying to do this now that we've taken it from the restaurants to the home. We're giving you the exact same quality meatball at home. Very easy to prepare. It is unbelievable how quick you can pull them out of your freezer. You put them in your Mama DePandi Pomodoro sauce, and bam, they're ready in 5 to 10 minutes.
And I love that, Guy. I love that he said attainable luxury. He's right, because look at this price. I mean, think about, we should get a shot, Guy, of how many meatballs they're getting. You're not going to believe the amount of meatballs you're getting. Look at that. Now, think about this. My last grocery bill yesterday was $95. And by the way, I was just going to the store to grab some, quote, essentials, like a few little things that didn't even make a dent in my freezer or refrigerator, right? Groceries have become very expensive. So the fact that you're getting this many premium meatballs for this price, you're always going to have these handy in your freezer. Incredible.
If you could do me a favor, guys, split one of those open and just show the people at home what it looks like on the inside and how tender and juicy they are.
I have one that's cold that I cut earlier, and I'm going to pull that one up first, Bill, because I want you to see that, you know, because a lot of times you take it out of the sauce and you're like, oh, it looks so good because it's got. Look at the ingredients that are in there, and you can see, all right? And it's been sitting out for a little bit, but I wanted you to see the spices, the cheese, everything in there. You don't see those little bits of fat that you see in a really cheap meatball. I'm also going to show you the exterior. It has a beautiful crust on the outside. Now I'm going to take one out of the pot. And this is where the rubber meets the road, as they say. These have been in there for a while. And let me tell you this. Normally, when you keep meatballs in sauce for an extended period of time, they kind of start to break up. This is one of the tricks of the trade, I guess, that I don't know about, because these meatballs are tender, yet they've been in the sauce for about an hour. All right? Yet they are perfectly tender and perfectly cooked. And I want to cut one, and I want to show you. I'll try now. I made such a mess last time. It was ridiculous. So here, let me try to do this a little bit better. First of all, look at how it splits without breaking apart. And then I'm going to take it on its side like this. It's really hot. And I want you to see just how beautifully juicy and moist that is. I mean, look at that shot. It's lean, don't get me wrong, but still it has all that flavor because of the cheese, because of the garlic, because of the spices, not overdone. And then if I take the knife and cut it right down the middle, those pieces still hold together. And I love that, because the problem I had for years is either meatballs are too tough. So then I tweaked the recipe, and I'm like, maybe, I can't remember if I used less eggs or more eggs. I did that, and I put the meatballs in the sauce, and when I went back, they were falling apart. You couldn't even get them out of the pan, which is very frustrating when you spend a long time on meatballs. These are perfect. They have that perfect, you bite into them, then they fall apart, and then all those flavors permeate your mouth, the cheese, the garlic, the basil, all that good stuff, and they are so satisfying. Also, they are not over-seasoned. I think a lot of retail places that sell meatballs, you heard my story before about the terrible bag of meatballs I bought. They use extra spices because they can get dried spices cheap and use cheaper cuts of meat. Bill said earlier, they use the best cuts of meat. This is a restaurant quality meatball dinner. You can't sell meatballs over pasta for $25 or $30 unless it's the best, all right? And that's what you can do when you start from scratch and you use the best quality ingredients, which is exactly what you guys have done.
And I got to tell you, I love having these in our freezer too.
Yep.
You know, it's so great. Like we have a 12-year-old son.
Oh, he loves these things.
He and his friends come over, and I can't just always make them the same thing over and over again, you know, carbs and pasta and this. So I love being able to have this as my protein for them.
Yep.
It's in the freezer. I take them out. They take no time to heat up, and then there you go. They have a delicious protein that they love, that's tasty. And, you know, you got to understand something too, Guy. Like we take so much pride in the ingredients and the meats we use in our different restaurants. We have 9 restaurants, and one of them is RPM Steak, and also RPM Italian. The meatballs are very popular at RPM Italian, but people love a good meatball, so we're so excited about these.
I think nothing makes me happier than when I see people reordering it, because then I know we're doing something right.
Yeah.
When I see 5th order, 8th order, right? People keep coming back for more.
Like me.
And well, exactly. It's hard to articulate, right, how good they are, how clean tasting they are, right? You can really tell the difference of the quality of the meat. And if you try it once, we're going to have you for life.
Exactly. And you know, we offer different meatballs here at the network, and I always like to talk about this because a lot of people are like, hey, wait, he liked those meatballs. Hey, what? Here's the deal, all right? We have different products from different vendors all over the place, and I'm always very honest about it because my credibility is everything. These are my favorite. Curtis's might be somebody else's favorite. Emerald's might be somebody else. These are my favorites. So the people that know me and know my likes know exactly what I love. I happen to, you know, unlike a lot of the other hosts, I spent a lot of time in the restaurant business, like you guys, and I mean, there were Italian restaurants all over where I grew up, and I would try them all. There was a place called the Arrow that was a real old school. I used to work there as a busboy, and I remember I called off one day, and I came in the next day. And Tommy Nistico put me up against the wall. Hey, you called in sick. You better be sick. I mean, it was that kind of old school stuff, right?
Yeah.
Tommy Nistico, big old bear. But the one thing they all had in common, they had a lot of heart. They cared about everything. They cared about people. That family, the Nistico family, they're still known in my town. Everybody knows about them. They own a bunch of restaurants. But the point I'm making is about these meatballs. The first time I tasted it, I'm like, that's it. That is what I've been trying to attain all these years. I've been trying to get that balance of not overspiced, not dry, tender but not fall apart. A meatball that you can slice and doesn't crumble on you, so you can slice it and put it on pizza. Not only that, when I make a meatball grinder, I cut the meatballs in half because I like to put 14 pounds of cheese on top. So I can do that as well. So here's what we're offering. You get 4 pounds. I don't even know if this is all the meatballs, but they're going to come in 1 pound bags. If you get home late at night, like even tonight would be a great night for me to have these because I'm going to get home at 7. And I got the dog at home and she's in the crate, so I don't have time to go have sushi and sake, but I'll go home. I'll take 3 or 4 meatballs out. I always get 1 extra because I eat 1 before I eat dinner. I got to eat it out of the pot. I'll take the Pomodoro sauce. I dump that on top, make a little pasta, and I am done. And I have had a very satisfying meal that tastes like grandma made it for me. And that's what it is, guys. Your meatballs and your pasta and all that stuff really tastes like Italian grandmothers made it because you can taste the love. And that's the bottom line.
No, you can, and you can see it too. Look at the parsley, look at the onion, look at that close-up shot, right? The white Romano cheese, the Parmesan cheese. I mean, yes, these are not some powders. Like, these are true fresh ingredients. Right. And you're going to taste the difference when you get these home and try them. You know what I love too is, the free shipping is always a big thing to me. I mean, I got to be honest, even the food delivery services now, even when you have a membership, you're still paying these service fees and delivery fees. So the fact that we're going to send these right out to you, they haven't been frozen in a freezer for 6 months. You're going to order them, we're going to prepare them and send them right out to you. You're going to get them nice and fresh, and then you can decide how many you want on any given night. These are going to last you a while.
Well, I think, Guy, you know this as a restaurateur, when you serve high-quality food, you feel more satisfied, right? You're fuller faster. When you're eating junk meat filled with fillers and all the things that you don't need, you have to eat a lot more of it, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow, look at that, Guy. Wow.
I mean, come on, man. That should be I mean, that's the cover shot right there. Look at how beautiful.
Props to the cameraman.
I know. My boy Dan over there and all our guys in here are doing a great job.
Yeah.
So as far as preparation, how I like to do it, and I'll ask you guys too, like I said before, what I do, like let's say I do it tonight. I'll go home and I'll get 3 or 4 meatballs. I take some, I have Thea olive oil because I love that olive oil. I'll put a little bit of Thea in the pan, and I like to just kind of recharge them a little bit because they came out of the freezer. So I do that. You don't have to. You can put them right in your sauce. I open up a jar of Mama DePandi's Pomodoro. I pour it in. I put the lid on. I put it on low. Make the pasta. It has never been easier. And look at the color. Look at this also has her sauce on it. Look at the color of that meatball. I mean, that is textbook, perfect grandma Italian meatball, front and back. I mean, look at that.
Look at that.
We are transporting you to Naples, Italy, Guy.
Totally.
When you eat that, it's like you're sitting in a piazza in Naples, Italy, just watching the world go by, enjoying the beautiful breeze of the Neapolitan Sea.
Hey, Bill.
Right? That is what we're doing here. We're changing your state of mind when you eat these meatballs.
You want to know the biggest tragedy, Bill, of all time? I've been all over the place. You know where I've never been?
Don't say
Italy.
Wow.
Guy,
that is.
No.
I know.
Because you are like an Italian. You are. You really. I think you were an Italian at some point. Like you got to go. We'll take you to Italy, Guy.
I'm going to call the CEO of HSN, and I'm going to talk to him. I think he lives in Lake Forest, Illinois.
God,
Yeah.
He's not that far from here. I'm going to get him on the phone. We're sending you to Italy on HSN's dime.
I mean, I've been to Paris a bunch of times, and don't get me wrong, I like Parisian food too, but I have seen, you know, my dream was to do the, what is it, the Cinque Terre? The whole coast of Italy that has all the islands.
Sure.
I wanted to do that. And of course, my mom, when she was with us, she went to Rome and did all that stuff. And I also have talked to Danny because there's a good chance I'll be semi-retired not too long from now, of going to like Italy in the winter because we love to ski.
Ooh.
So,
the Alps, the Italian Alps.
Yeah, so go to the Italian
I highly
Alps.
recommend going to the Amalfi Coast.
You got to go south when it's warm, and you could have beautiful meatballs and
why
beautiful
don't I do
pasta.
both? I can do both.
Oh, there you go. You can do both,
and
Guy.
I can find
we
out.
only live once.
And when you guys are out there, we can hook up out there, which you know I would love that more than anything.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
So, again, I'm so happy. I'm so glad Bill finally came. It was so nice. I've been talking. Every time I see Juliana, I'm like, say hi to Bill, say hi to Bill. And it's so great, Bill. We appreciate you being here with us today. And I know you have a lot of that background, in restaurants as well, like me. You know, we're kind of TV guys that have done everything. But the bottom line is, you know how hard it is, and I do too, to run a really successful restaurant. And it gets harder and harder and harder every year because if you look at the number of restaurants that open and close, the number of restaurants that have opened up in downtown St. Pete in the last 3 or 4 years, everybody is getting in a line to try to take the next available space. But being in the restaurant business and staying in it are two different things. You stay in it, and I've said this to everybody, because of the quality of your food. I mean, if you have good food and your restaurant is in the middle of you know what, people will come if the food is good.
Yeah.
Right?
No, you're right, Guy. It is all about quality food, to your point. And, I want to tell you something about these meatballs that I didn't mention. These are going to come to you in a cool container, like a dry ice container. They're actually going to come to you 2 days within shipping them. So you're going to order them. You're going to get them within just a couple of days. They're going to be made fresh for you. And that's what we strive to do. Like, we try to truly give you that restaurant experience, and you can taste the freshness when you go to a restaurant. And that's what we really want you to taste here. And, I think our restaurants have been so successful and grown over the years because it's the food, right? Food is everything. It's king. And people feel like when they come to our restaurant, it's consistently good, So we want to give you a consistently good food item.
We opened the first RPM Italian in Chicago 15 years ago, right? And we always say it's easy to open up a restaurant. It's hard to keep a restaurant running. And we've done it for 15 consecutive years. Packed every single night, and the Pomodoro sauce and the meatballs are the top 2 sellers every single night, without a doubt. I mean, not even a question.
Yeah.
It's guaranteed.
Yeah, I love restaurants that are kind of like destination places. It's like, you can always count on it. You're going to get a good meal. That's why restaurants, the ones that do last a very long time, because and you have to be on it all the time. Like, you have to be on everything. Every little detail matters, because every person that's unhappy is going to go out and tell 5 or 6 people how miserable time they had, whereas a happy person may tell 1 or 2. So your job is to minimize that. And that's what you guys do. And trying to do food service where you're delivering food frozen cooked ahead of time is even harder to do because you have to go through all those other steps. And when you reach this level, like I said, when I get a bag of these in the mail and I pull one out, and I probably ordered it 4 or 5 times because don't forget, it's just me and I get, I buy the big bag, so I eat them fairly regularly. But every time I eat them, they taste the same. And I'm like, I love that I can count on that. And that's really, it's quality, it's consistency. You ask any restaurateur, they're gonna say, what's one of the biggest things? Consistency. We have to be good every time we go out. And that's what these guys brought to this particular product is that, and all their products, is that what you get in the restaurant, you're gonna be able to have at home. And you're gonna be able to do it whenever you want. Right?
That's right. It's right as rain. It's going to be consistent every time. And we spend a lot of our time searching for ingredients. We're constantly working with family farms, family ranchers, right? We are very thoughtful and very careful about where we get our ingredients from, and it conveys to the customer. And that's why it tastes so good.
Yeah, and that's why I think our restaurants are so successful. But we're just really excited about these. But unlike the restaurants, you can go in any night. We're never going to sell out of the meatballs. I don't think we ever have. Here, though, we love our visits because, they're so much fun, but we also always have a limited amount of everything. So we would love for you guys to get these home, try them. They are delicious. We think you're going to really love them. And I know, Guy, they've been really popular tonight. So I hope we still have some left for people to order because you're getting a lot of meatballs.
I'm just checking right now. Hey, Rob, what do I have total? Auto ship. Just about 400 left. 400 orders.
That's it. Wow.
And I've got only of which half are in auto ship. And I've got hundreds, little more than that in the single. But and we have hundreds of people that are ordering right now. So if you want to get them, you're looking for a very easy, very consistent, very delicious, totally Italian meal. And you know what? Listen, if you want to take the credit, you go right ahead. They don't need to. You can just be like, nah, it's Mama DePandi. You can do whatever you want. I'm very proud of the fact that I know all you guys and that, I've tried these and I'm so impressed with them. And that's why they made the superstar edition of Now That's Tasty. And I'm sure they will be back year after year after year. You guys are wonderful, but I'm not letting you go yet because Bill and Juliana, I've tried to order this twice and both times it was sold out, which is our creme brulee, and it's gonna. Rob just said today will be no exception.